Welcome to this critical explainer. Today, we are issuing a serious medical alert focused squarely on the severe biological impact of common protein choices that are silently accelerating cellular degeneration in individuals over 60. If you fall into this demographic, listen closely. Continuing to consume certain proteins the exact same way you did in your 30s is not merely a harmless dietary misstep, it is a rapid catalyst for extensive organ damage. During this briefing, we are examining clinical data that exposes 4 deceptively common meats that are destroying older metabolisms. Crucially, we will also outline the exact 4-step medical protocol required to halt and actively reverse this physiological decline. We need to begin this briefing with a stark, unsettling reality. The most dangerous meat we reviewed in this clinical data was linked to a massive 56% rise in heart attacks for seniors. We are not talking about a slight elevation in risk here. This is a statistical emergency. To understand exactly how we reach such catastrophic numbers, we have to look closely at the daily habits that older adults mistakenly believe are harmless. And that starts directly with our number 4 threat, deli ham and processed cold cuts.
Now, you might be asking, why is simple deli meat such an extreme medical hazard? It comes down to a precise chemical mechanism. Almost every senior household has cold cuts in the refrigerator for the sake of simple, quick convenience. But these ultra-processed meats are heavily pumped with sodium nitrite. When introduced into the aging digestive tract, this preservative reacts with the meat's amino acids to form nitrosamines. These are known carcinogenic compounds that directly and continuously damage your tissue and DNA over time. You aren't just eating a quick sandwich. You are actively ingesting a toxic chemical cocktail. When we look at clinical data tracking for 40,000 seniors over time, the results are deeply alarming. Consuming these nitrate-laced cold cuts just 4 times a week spikes heart failure and general mortality risks to catastrophic levels. Specifically, we see a 24% higher risk of heart failure and a 19% increased risk of dying from any cause. The extreme sodium and hidden phosphates are actively driving up internal inflammation, accelerating high blood pressure, and stressing your kidneys right to the breaking point.
Moving away from the deli counter, we encounter our next major threat, deep-fried chicken. Here we face advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Fast food fried chicken is incredibly popular, but it's highly destructive. When cheap oils and refined flours are subjected to extreme cooking temperatures, they create these highly toxic compounds. These inflammatory agents relentlessly promote systemic organ damage, aggressively accelerating the aging process at a cellular level across your entire body.
This perfectly illustrates the profound danger of our next threat, conventional pork sausage. Concentrated industrial additives and heavy saturated fats in these processed meats elevate colon cancer risk by a staggering 22%. A major study tracking 18,000 adults over the age of 60 revealed this chilling statistic for those eating processed pork sausage just twice a week. Furthermore, it increases the risk of kidney dysfunction by 16%. The dense saturated fats that accelerate arterial plaque, combined with compounding carcinogens, literally transform a simple breakfast staple into a ticking medical time bomb.
But perhaps the most quietly destructive food on our list is also the most surprising: factory-farmed, skinless chicken breast. It holds the position of our number 1 danger precisely because of its false sense of security. Seniors are actively choosing it daily, fully believing it is the optimal, heart-healthy option. They are completely unaware that they are setting themselves up for a devastating cascade of nutritional deficiencies and severe immune threats. Let's look at the hard evidence. A 2021 Consumer Reports test revealed a severe biological threat to weakened immune systems, finding antibiotic-resistant bacteria in a shocking majority of supermarket chicken breasts. Specifically, 60% tested positive. Factory-farmed birds are routinely pumped with antibiotics, GMO feed, and rapid growth compounds. When older adults, who naturally have more sensitive immune responses, consume this, they are inviting agricultural chemicals and resistant bacteria directly into their digestive tracts. The physical toll is immense. By stripping away the healthy fats, seniors deprive their aging bodies of essential nutrients. This results in severe clinical manifestations ranging from pronounced dry skin and brittle hair to a 16% increase in physical frailty. You lose the essential biological mechanisms needed to absorb fat-soluble vitamins D, E, and K. Older adults who rely heavily on monotonous meals of skinless chicken breast suffer from severe deficiencies in vital micronutrients like zinc, B12, and collagen, which directly drives accelerated physical decline. So how do we halt this cognitive and physical decline? We must implement a precise 4-step medical intervention protocol designed specifically for cellular repair. Step 1 requires the immediate elimination of processed, nitrate-rich deli meats and sausages. Step 2 demands you discontinue nutrient-void, factory-farmed poultry. Step 3 introduces omega-3 dense, anti-inflammatory proteins into your diet. And finally, Step 4 utilizes high-yield, bioavailable organ meats. This is a strict, life-saving intervention necessary to reclaim your physiological health. Let's observe the stark biological contrast here between inflammatory factory chicken and our first recommendation for Step 3, grass-fed lamb. Grass-fed lamb serves as an absolute anti-aging powerhouse. Unlike factory chicken, it is rich in omega-3s to lubricate aging joints, contains a full spectrum of vitamins essential for red blood cell formation, and is entirely free of the synthetic hormones that burden the older liver. Furthermore, grass-fed lamb delivers a truly vital fatty acid known as conjugated linoleic acid, or CLA. It is clinically proven to protect older adults against metabolic disease, leading to a documented 23% improvement in muscle strength and a significant drop in inflammatory markers. This means that simply by swapping out toxic conventional meats for grass-fed lamb a few times a week, you are taking authoritative action to defend your physical mobility. Continuing with Step 3 in our protocol, we look at pasture-raised duck. Integrating this systematically targets poor circulation and low iron, conditions that are far too often misdiagnosed as standard aging. Pasture-raised duck provides highly absorbable heme iron to actively reverse chronic fatigue and anemia. It addresses the absolute root cause of your exhaustion directly, in a way that standard lean poultry simply cannot. The clinical results are remarkable. One targeted study found that incorporating duck twice a week resulted in an impressive 19% improvement in cognitive function scores after just 6 months. The dense, healthy fats and omega-3s found in pasture-raised duck meat actively feed the aging brain, decrease systemic inflammatory markers by 21%, and keep blood vessels supple. It is a targeted, profound nutritional defense for your neurological health. Next, for skeletal integrity, sardines serve as a highly dense anti-aging intervention. But there is a strict medical caveat here. They must be consumed with the bones and skin to fully utilize the bioavailable calcium and collagen. If you ignore the bones and skin, you are discarding the essential building blocks required to prevent osteoporosis. Together, they deliver an unparalleled combination of complete protein and joint-repairing collagen that the senior body desperately needs. The impact is rapid. After just 12 weeks of clinical observation, older adults eating sardines twice a week achieved massive systemic improvements. Bone density improved by 29%, alongside a 32% reduction in dangerous triglyceride levels. Because they are so small, sardines do not carry the high mercury toxicity found in larger fish, making them a perfectly safe, highly practical cardiovascular necessity. Executing Step 4 of our protocol means introducing a true biological powerhouse, grass-fed beef liver. When you are over 60, your cells inherently struggle to produce energy efficiently. Beef liver is a biological weapon loaded with coenzyme Q10, a rare coenzyme that steps in immediately alongside bioavailable iron and zinc to instantly repair and power failing cellular energy grids across your body. When we track this over a 10-week clinical trial, we see exactly how a medical dose of 100 grams of beef liver twice a week systemically rebuilds the aging body. The timeline is undeniable. By week 2, massive influxes of highly absorbable B12 elevate your immunity. By week 6, hemoglobin stabilizes to effectively fight off fatigue. And by week 10, energy scores surge dramatically. No synthetic supplement on the market comes close to replicating what whole food liver provides at the cellular level. This comparison completely shatters the myth of standard muscle meats. When you look at the clinical markers, the math is irrefutable. Beef liver acts as a fast-acting modern medicine for the brain and blood. Energy spikes by 44% and memory improves by 37% with liver, while remaining virtually stagnant with standard lean meats. The bioavailability of these nutrients results in unparalleled physiological restoration. It is absolutely imperative that you internalize this reality. Your daily dietary choices dictate whether you're feeding cellular destruction or driving biological restoration. Aging does not have to mean a passive, inevitable decline into frailty, chronic pain, and memory loss. But you must stop feeding the disease and start actively fueling your longevity today. As we conclude this medical briefing, you must ask yourself this urgent question before you sit down for your very next meal. Are your current protein choices silently accelerating your aging or actively reversing it? The clinical data is incredibly clear, and the recovery protocol is now in your hands. Thank you for joining me on this explainer. Ensure you take authoritative control of your cellular health right now.